Hey everybody, I'm just trying to figure this out here real quick. Using Zoom to do this, and I've never done it before, so. Cool. All right. Figured out how to do this. Cool. All right, so we're going to pretend like this is the beginning and that you haven't been watching me just sit here for a couple minutes. All right, great. So, hey everybody, I'm going to do a couple of list reviews here live again. Last time I did this video, there was some comments saying that, hey, we should do this live and do it together as a community. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to do two different lists here today. I have not read either of them. I have not seen either of them before. So we're in this together. Yeah. And yeah, so I'm in Battlescribe here. I have two lists from two different patrons. If you haven't seen this type of video before, basically, it's something that I do for my supporters over on Patreon. I take a list that they send me and review it, look at strengths and weaknesses, and then try to tweak it to be a little bit more effective while still maintaining the overall feel of that list. So not fundamentally changing the playstyle or the character of the list, but just making it a little bit more effective in my eyes in the games that I play in my head. So all right, so let's see here. All right, this is list one. All right, let's see, 2,000 points, Farsight Enclaves, Emergency Dispensation, so we're taking a couple relics here, Veteran Cadre, great. We have Fireblade with 3 Unity Devastation, Marker Light, Marker Drones, Pure-Ted Engram Neurochip, Warlord. So he's really loaded up with stuff here. He will be easy to hide, but also if he dies, we're losing a lot of things. We're losing our our most reliable Marker Light. We're losing our Warlord trait, and we're losing our Pure-Ted Engram Neurochip. For commanders here, we have an Enforcer with Cyclic Ion Blaster and Shield Drone, or Cyclic Ion Blasters and Advanced Targeting with 2 Shield Drones, and a commander and Cold Star with Fusion Blasters and Marker Drones. So the thing about Shield Drones, right? Shield Drones at 10 points apiece are awesome. Shield Drones at 15 points apiece are 50% more expensive per Savior Protocol. And that's not awesome. I think Shield Drones, having a couple here and there can be useful. Although really, if you bring only a few, their 5-up feel no pain roll isn't really going to proc enough to make a difference, right? You need a lot of them to actually get that 1/3 chance to actually come through and do something meaningful, right? Like if you just had one, you got that 1/3 chance and then it's dead and then it's done, right? But so I think shield drones are actually much more useful in a larger unit of drones where you take 1 or 2 shield drones depending on the size of the unit, not for the feel no pain aspect for savior protocols, but for the invulnerable save to protect that unit of drones from incoming shooting. Kind of like in the same way that you would use an iridium armor suit in a crisis unit. So we will think about these shield drones here. All right, but otherwise, 2 perfectly good loadouts for commanders. For troops, we have a 10-man unit of breachers with a guardian drone shield drone. Same comment for the shield drone there. Breacher, another 5-man breacher team, another 5-man breacher team, 5-man strike team, 5-man strike team, 5-man strike team. So lots of infantry here. That's good because in 9th edition, you need things to cap objectives. Again, 9th edition isn't about killing the things, it's about being in the right place and doing the things. So infantry let you do that. Okay, for elites, we have Firesight Marksman. Good. I haven't been including them in my lists that I've been making just because I don't know if the value is there anymore. Or at least not as much as it used to be, just because of the way the character keyword works. You can't just put this guy off in a corner and have him sit there all by himself and shoot off marker lights. He has to be protected, and that means that you're spending resources, units, protecting this guy when you maybe don't want to do that. It wouldn't be such a big deal if the marker light wasn't heavy and he could walk around with them, but because marker light is heavy, he's not very mobile, or if he is mobile, he's not as effective. And so it's kind of a catch-22 where, for the most part, I probably would rather just have marker lights on my Fire Warrior Shazwi instead. Riptide Smart Missile System with Amplified Ion Accelerator, great. Counterfire Defense System, that's good. So if he's getting charged, he's going to have an opportunity to say something about it. Early Warning Override, also good. Choices here. Crisis Bodyguards with Cyclic Ion Blaster and 2 Fusion Blaster with Crosslink Stabilizer Jets. So that's going to be improving the efficacy of their shooting. And we have 2 shield drones. I would like to see more drones with this unit, just because I mean, drones are drones are useful, and this is a unit that is going to need a little bit of attention. So I might go there. I'm assuming that they are the veteran cadre. Do we have another one down here somewhere? Nope, it's just 1 detachment. So those are our veteran cadre. We gotta boop that. Make sure that we're all on the same page there. Okay, Cyclic Ion Blaster, 2 Fusion Blaster, drone controller here. That's fine. We don't have. Okay, I'm guessing down here. No. Yes. Interesting. Okay, so the drone controller here is an interesting choice because, in general, I think drone controllers are useful, right? Especially in 9th edition now, where we're moving away from shield drones and towards things like marker drones or gun drones. Having the drone controller is a big plus. You want it on a chassis that's going to stick around, and crisis suits are not necessarily known for their longevity on the tabletop. So, I could go either way on that, either incorporating here or somewhere else in the list. I would tend to think somewhere else might be a little bit more durable, and that way you're able to fully utilize that veteran cadre with crosslink stabilizers as well. You're not giving up a slot of this premium unit for a drone controller. It's also interesting because there aren't any drones that can actually utilize the drone controller attached to this unit. There's just the 2 shield drones, but there's no gun drones or marker drones. So I would reconsider that placement. Although I think a drone controller in general in a list is good, especially since we're going to be, I think I made it clear that we're going to be moving away from shield drones here and looking at other types of drones. So we'll leverage that drone control a little bit more. So these units down here, the shield drone units, we will mix up a little bit. We can still leave some shield drones in there. Like I said, they can be good for blocking or protecting the unit, but I don't think a unit of 4 shield drones is really worth it. Oh, heavy gun drone squadron. Okay, cool. So they got. I have not actually considered heavy gun drones in 9th edition yet. I saw a forum post about them maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, and thought maybe I should look at that. So let's look at it right now, right? So they have 2 burst cannons, right? Or they just have 1 burst cannon. They have 1 burst cannon and a marker light, right? Okay. Yeah. And they have the drone keyword, so they should benefit from a drone controller. Or no, because drone controller. Yeah, okay. Drone controllers should only be normal gun drones, right? It's not going to apply for the heavy gun drone. Is this going to give me a little pop-up? No. Can we view it? Drone controller. Drone. Okay, it is drone. Just the drone keyword. Okay. All right. Okay, so maybe that would apply to the heavy gun drone then, huh? So I mean, that's useful. How much are we paying for this? We're paying. Okay, here's one with 2 burst cannons. Here's one with burst cannon marker light. I see. All right. We're paying, 2 to 3 times as much for this as we are a normal drone, but it has an additional wound. Yeah, I don't think that's really worth it. But it's more drones, right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I don't think these are really worth it. We're getting, a burst cannon is essentially the same as 2 carbines, which you get on a normal drone. So here we have a heavy gun drone with burst cannon marker light. That's the same as a marker light drone and a gun drone. They just have an additional wound, but given the nature of how multi-damage weapons work, you're probably not actually really gaining anything here, because if they shoot it with a multi-damage weapon, then you're killing the whole drone as opposed to only one drone. So I think, yeah, just going with two little drones is better than the heavy gun drone, unless someone can convince me otherwise. This is where the live part of it is actually very useful. So let me hear your arguments for keeping the heavy gun drone in the comments. And we got 2 devilfish. Awesome. They got secret missiles. I'm a fan of secret missiles. Yeah. So okay, I like this list. I think it has a lot going for it. I like the use of commanders here. I think the weak parts here, the Cadre Fireblade is useful, but we're not bringing. We're not. I guess let's say we have 15 strike teams. He's fine. Yeah, he's doing okay. It's unclear to me. Let's see. We have a unit of 10 breachers and another 10 breachers. Those can. Yep. Okay. So this first breacher team can go in a devilfish, and these second 2 can go in the devilfish together, because they don't both have drones. So they'll fit inside the 2 devilfish. That gives us our 15 strike teams. I think that Cadre Fireblade is not long for this world. So I would still probably put the pure, either give the Warlord to the Enforcer, or put the Riptide on the Enforcer. One of those 2. Yeah. Okay, where do we have? Oh, so yeah, we have our 3 relics are the stabilizing jets, the amplified iron accelerator, and the Riptide engram neuro chip. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I'm gonna boop these guys, because I think that's a liability. I think we can get more efficiency other ways. I think we actually can. I think we can actually do a lot here to maintain a lot of this feeling, but not have some of these liabilities here. So, okay, sure. Let's. What happens if we start to mess with our drone units here? That's true that multi-damage weapons don't want to shoot at drones, but and that's actually an argument for taking tactical drones and not heavy gun drones. Heavy gun drones are different, and so a multi-damage weapon would actually probably really like to shoot at a heavy gun drone, but not like to shoot at 2 normal gun drones. So I would again go with that. All right, so let's just give each of these units 1 shield drone, because that's part of the deal. And then we can do. Okay, I think this might be interesting. Marker drone here. 3 marker drones and a shield drone in each of these. each of these fast attack units. And then see your crisis suit team here. Either they're going to be deep striking in. I don't think that's totally necessary. Either they're going to be deep striking in, or they are going to be aggressive. And if they're going to be aggressive, we want to give them a bunch of gun drones. If they're going to be deep striking in, we don't want to bother with the drone controller. So, I mean, I'm a fan of. See, counterfire defense system is 10 points. You're probably going to need that. Early warning override, you're not necessarily going to need that, but you can always use the drone controller. So I'm going to say here that we should go not with the drone controller, but we're going to make this guy just the same as the other ones. And do we have enough points now? Oh yeah, we have lots of points now. Let's take another one of those bad boys. Give one of them an iridium armor for sure. Okay, and let's give him a shield generator too. And then drop one of his fusion blasters. Okay. What's it saying is wrong? Shield generator. I don't see why it's telling me I'm wrong with this. What's the validation error? Oh, wait. It says it can't have it. I don't believe you. Okay, I think that's Battlescribe being wonky. Okay, but so we can give them a lot more. We can give them a lot more punching power now. So we can keep 2 shield drones. Let's give them 4 gun drones though. Okay. So we have a market light source. We have, have a drone controller there. A bunch of units here. What if we do? I want to get something off the Cadre Fireblade because I think he's just. I think we could. Let's take away that Warlord and put it on the Enforcer. We don't want to put it on the Cold Star because Cold Star is going to die. Cold Stars always die. I mean, not always, but often. I don't think that was a wrong. I don't think that Cadre Fireblade was a wrong choice for the Warlord. I just think maybe the Enforcer might be a little bit safer. And here we're splitting our. We're not putting all of our eggs in one basket. Okay, so what are we good at here? We have the big unit of breachers, which is nice. We could split that up into 2, but that gives you less utility for your stratagems. So having the 1 is nice. And then 3 units of strike teams, they can hang out and back, do their normal stuff. You don't have to worry about having something sit. We have 136 points. 136 points. Not enough for another Riptide. Could take another Devilfish. Yeah, the AFP on this Bodyguard up here, we could switch from crosslink stabilizer jets to reactive countermeasures. And I like that idea in principle. I'm largely thinking of leaving the stabilizer jets in here as a matter of flavor from the original list. The argument for reactive countermeasures is that, it can make a big difference in keeping that unit on the board, but once that one bodyguard is gone, you're losing all that utility. So yeah, and as soon as he takes one wound, he has to keep taking wounds. So yeah, I think I like that. I've been doing that in my lists, but I'm fine trying out the crosslink stabilizer jets here. Okay, so what are we doing here? We can put more drones in the strike on every team. Well, not on the breacher teams, right? But on the strike teams, they can get drones. That's gonna be 60 points. And then we could, you know what we should do? How many? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be in, be a little over aggressive here with our crisis team, making that a huge point investment. Here we're gonna put in. See, we have 3, 6, 9. I'm gonna give one of these units marker drones. And I'm going to give the other 2 gun drones. Because they're going to need those. Okay. Oh, okay. Now we're at 2005 points. So I'm going to take out, I don't want just that one. So I'm going to add, I'm already at 6. I might as well go to 7 on the crisis unit. Well, I have the 5 points. So let's make that a shield drone there. Okay, I think that's the list. Yeah, I mean, we could do a lone broadside or something like that. I'm generally a conservative list builder in the idea that I don't want to stretch things thin. I don't want to try to get in as many different units if those units are not well supported. So having more drones and maybe a little bit heavier stocked unit generally I think is the safer bet than trying to take a more reduced unit and taking an additional unit that isn't necessarily well supported, right? Like I could drop all these drones and take a broadside, for example, and if I did that, that'd be cool. I'd have a broadside that can dish out a lot of shots, but I wouldn't have drones to protect my absurdly expensive crisis suit unit or my Riptide. So yeah, and you know what? This might be too many fusion. This might be too many fusion blasters, right? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 fusion blasters in this unit. Cyclic probably would be worth taking in a little bit more even proportion. Because let's see, what cyclics are going to be nice for things with invulnerable saves. What do we have that can deal with that? We have plenty of breacher shots. We have our enforcer suit. We have our amplified ion accelerator. This list doesn't actually have. This doesn't have a huge. I mean, how many? We have 20. We have 35 fire warriors plus gun drones. I guess it has a fair volume of fire. Fusion blasters, we need those for Marines now. So okay, I guess I'm fine with this. I guess I'm fine with this. I mean, yeah, we could. I mean, if I drop the shield generator, then we're going to be over points. If I try to switch it for something else, Guys, we could take a plasma rifle. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think this is my general idea. I mean, if I were going to switch things up, I'd maybe look at dropping a unit or two of infantry, and then maybe taking one of these crisis bodyguards out and skimming a few drones here and there in order to take another Riptide. Not with ion accelerator, but with the heavy burst cannon. So I would try to skim together another Riptide, because Riptides are good. They can stay on the tabletop, and that's again what it's about. So yeah, I think I'm happy with this list. All right, we're gonna save that. And then, right. Stop sharing my screen so I can get into this other one. All right. Okay, here we are on the second one. I told you we were going to do 2 lists today. Yeah, so okay. Question was about maybe bring stealth suits in that list. I think that's another direction. I was thinking about that when we had like, 150 points, what we could do. I think stealth suits are not a bad answer. The problem is with stealth suits, you want to put you'll deploy them. You'll want to put them on an objective, and then depending on who you're playing against, that can either be a really a really useful decision or a huge liability, because they're sitting there. They're not, they can be fairly durable to shooting. They're not going to be extremely durable to assault, and so you have your opponent is trying to get board control, and so they can just charge your stealth suits and then just be that much closer to you. So you could basically be giving them, up to 12 inches additional movement because they're charging your stealth suits. And, sometimes that can work out just fine, but yeah. So I have mixed feelings about stealth suits. I think if you use them conservatively, if you don't put them in a vulnerable position like anything else, they can be useful. But I think that's a lot easier said than done. Okay. So here we are looking at the next list. We got, what do we have here? We have is it just one detachment? Nope, it's 2. Just 2 detachments. It's a 2,000 point list, but a little bit of wiggle room in here so we can add what we want. Farside Enclaves, Veteran Cadre. Oh, I see what it probably was procking the warning on me before, because I didn't pick the right, or the Veteran Cadre that was picked on the earlier list was for the smaller unit size instead of the larger one. That's why it was telling me there was a problem. Okay. Commander and Cold Star, 3 unit devastation, missile pods, gun drone, velocity tracker. Cool. So so this is I'm guessing the idea here is that this velocity tracker, even though the commander has a 2-up ballistic skill, the velocity tracker is there to compensate for shooting at flyers, right? I would not rely on that. I think that's a really clever idea, but not something that's necessarily going to be useful all the time. And you only get 2 commanders per detachment in Farside Enclaves. So let's make sure that they are doing the most good possible all the time. And so I would shy away from this. I would use a more conventional loadout. Missile pods are fine, because you can basically use a Cold Star to bounce around the tabletop, and he has the range then to pick stuff off. and he doesn't have to get close. But in general, I don't think cold stars make good warlords. As I said in the previous list, they die a lot. So I would put it on an enforcer if I'm going to put it on a commander. Yeah. All right. So then we have another cold star with missile pods. So same deal. Basically, really trying to play against that a flyer list here. Breacher team. Yep, looks good. So 3 5-man breacher teams. One of them with a shield drone and a guardian drone. Probably could go again with a gun drone here and maintain the guardian drone. Although maybe I would take drones on these other units too. Unit of crisis bodyguards. Okay, so like crisis bodyguards are better than normal crisis suits, and you get some advantages here if they're in close combat, like with a commander. But they're not. It's it's not necessary. Like there's a benefit, but it's not. You get a lot of the same utility just from a normal crisis suit unit on average. So either way. Okay, so we got AFPs with advanced targeting systems here. That's so that's an anti-infantry build, certainly. AFPs can be really good at taking out really. I feel like this is an anti-Elder list right now. That's what it feels like. So this could be, or like anti-Eldari or Drukhari or Harlequins, right? Like it seems like this might be the idea. Or like maybe anti-Horde Tyranids. I'm looking at this though, and I would like, so AFPs are actually really points efficient against those really little guys. They can also be really point efficient against really little guys with invulnerable saves. So really, if you're dealing with like toughness 3 things, AFPs are good. Flamers are also very good. And now that they're 12 inches, they're that much better. So I would maybe consider going flamers here, although not really. I think AFP is totally fine. Either way, right? You're looking for volume of fire and an anti-infantry build. I think so. If I'm already bringing AFP, I might look at the reactive countermeasures here. But that is a lot. That is a lot of them. Let's move on to the next attachment. We have a commander with an enforcer. We have a commander and a cold star. The enforcer has, so we have trip cold stars and then an enforcer. I don't think having 3 cold stars is totally necessary, right? I would be fine with enforcers for these second 2. Or even 3 enforcers and 1 cold star. Cold stars are useful because they can bounce around the board, right? And you might get into a position here where you need to have all 3 of your cold stars, bug out and get to one corner of the board, but they're not going to really help each other out. So, they're, again, it's not a wrong choice, but I think having enforcer gives you a little bit. Saves you a little bit of points. Yeah. Right. So commander enforcer with 3 missile pod. Okay, so the missile pod and velocity tracker is the theme for the commanders. I see. Then we have more breachers. So there's a whole a duplicate detachment here. Okay. Oh, this one's a patrol. Okay. Was the other one patrol too? No, that was a battalion. Okay. So patrol. We have a Riptide. I like that. Riptide has the amplified ion, velocity tracker. Yeah, definitely building for anti-flyer here. We don't have a second. We can take another support system here, which I think we should. Wait, maybe let's throw the drone controller on, because we got drones. gun drones, shield drones, gun drones, shield drones. I would switch these proportions, and maybe, I mean, do we have bring an ethereal with this many drones? Maybe. Oh, but they're Farside enclaves, right? Wah, wah. All right. So, okay, what to do? What to do? I mean, we got. Listen, folks. We got a lot of anti-infantry stuff here. The AFP on the crisis suits. All right, so what are we going to... We have a lot of anti-infantry here. We have stuff that can deal with flyers. I think we're... And the Riptide here is going to be pulling a lot of weight, right? Riptide, this is a great unit. The Amplified Ion Accelerator does a lot of work against high toughness, high wound things, vehicles and monsters. So this guy is going to do a ton of work, and he has a velocity tracker. So against flyers, he can take care of, he can do a fair amount of damage to flyers. But where this list struggles, I think, is with a little bit of redundancy against vehicles. Missile pods are useful in that regard, but not optimal. And so I think we need more anti-vehicle stuff. I think we're good on like infantry to grab objectives. I think how are we doing on drones? Okay, so because it's patrol. Well, we have a battalion up here, right? So we have plenty of room to take another unit of drones as if we want, and we can load some of these other units up with drones, so that there's plenty of drones flying around. So we don't need to actually have this big meaty 10-man unit of drones. These are doing that is a liability because they're vulnerable to blast and morale at that point. So. And drones, they're meant to die, right? So I would break this down into smaller units, definitely, and either breaking those down in smaller units as tactical drones, and also spreading them out throughout the list. All right. Yeah. So we're missing some anti-tank here. I might also, let's see. Do we have 30 breachers in this list? I think we got to put some boys in a devilfish, probably. I mean, it's not totally. Yeah, we don't. I mean, I was going to say we don't have the mobility, but we have all those cold stars. We have 3 cold stars but again, the thing about cold stars, they're mobile, but they're also characters, and they'll die if they're being mobile all by themselves. So they need buddies, they need friends to keep them in the game. Yeah, so maybe let's leave 2. Let's leave 2 cold stars. I'm going to switch one of these guys to an enforcer. But I'm going to, no. We need that anti-tank. So let's go. We're going to put some anti-tank in the crisis suit unit. We're going to put some anti-tank in these commanders too. So, I mean, this is kind of, I don't know. I'm going to leave the cold stars the way they were. Like I said, it's not like a wrong choice. We'll leave the cold stars the way they were because I feel like that's a thematic choice. Like that's something that is part of the play style. I don't want to mess with that. So we're going to split the difference here, though. Take these 2 commanders down here, give them advanced targeting and cyclic, a very conventional and boring choice, but effective. Okay, we got a drone controller on the Riptide. Okay, here, this tactical drone unit. Let's do the same thing we did before. with these drone units. I mean, that's not, I don't know. I don't want to like, this is the downside of doing this live and also doing it with 2 lists is like, I don't want to just duplicate the same. I don't want to make like the same list, but that's where my head's at. Coming from the first list to the second one. But I do like having like for these tactical drone units. Well, no, we're just gonna let's just go full marker drones. Do that there. All right, let's get a dedicated transport in here. Where did they go? There you go. And we don't need, let's not bother with the seeker missiles yet. Why is he, what's, Breacher team must have one more, oh, right. I just didn't hit it enough times. Oh, but here, we can do this though. Okay. I'm gonna take the shield drone out here. Make a gun drone. And then just duplicate that unit again. Okay, so we got 3 units of breachers with drones. Yep, these guys can go together. These guys, let's leave them alone for now because we're going to mess with this. Oof, we only got 100 points to mess with this crisis suit unit. But we're going to, I mean, okay. So we are going to, by the way, this is the first time I've used Zoom to live stream. I have no idea if it's actually going to record like it does normally. Kind of a feeling that it's not going to. And so we are doing, if you're watching this after the fact, congratulations. It did record. But if you're watching this live, this might be the only time we can watch this. Or we can do this. So it's a once in a lifetime experience. Congratulations. All right, so let's get these guys. What do we have? We have cyclics. We have, no, we do need fusion. I mean, we could split the difference, right? We could give them AFPs in addition to fusion blasters. I'm not a fan of, general rule of thumb I have for crisis suits is not to try to mix up their loadouts. Because if I give them an AFP and I give them a fusion blaster, that means that they want to shoot the heavy stuff and they want to shoot the light stuff, and they're torn in the middle. And whatever if they can reach both of them, great. But if they have to dedicate towards one, that means half their weapons are not going to be optimal for that target. Right. So, I mean, we could bring 2 units of crisis suits. It's an option. They couldn't both be veteran cadres, but we could do it. And if we did that, then we can make one of them a flamer unit, and it wouldn't matter if they're a veteran cadre because they're hitting automatically. Let's see what happens. Let's go with our anti-tank unit here. Fusion blasters and 1 cyclic. I mean, we could go the other way around, right? It could be 2 cyclic and 1 fusion. Or 2 fusion and advanced targeting. All 3 of those I think are good. So let's Give one of them iridium. Right, okay. No, we're back to 100 points. And I'm going to use it up in drones. Right, I probably need 2. We got 8 drones there. We got 2, 4, 6 drones there. Another 2, 4 drones there. Another 2 drones, 2 drones there. I mean, there's a reasonable number of drones here. Not enough to cut a bunch in order to field a unit of flamer crisis suits, though, right? Right. Could drop a unit of breachers. And we have our cyclic there. We could drop the devilfish, but I don't think that's worth it. So what if we add? I mean, let's just play around with it here and see what that's going to cost us. I love that it just populates with 3 Chazui when it knows that you want a Chazray too. Because why wouldn't you? Okay, so we do that. And then we need our Chazray. It's not that expensive, right? That's interesting. Not that expensive. I've never used the Flamer suit in 9th edition, so I have no idea if that would work. We're only 30 points over. I want to load this veteran unit up with some drones so we could take some. Guys, I'm getting kind of excited about these flamer suits here. Yeah, so I see in there Gunpla. So yeah, 1 quad fusion blaster cold start. I mean, I think that's probably the more punchy way to go. So what if we nuke those guys? Now we got 35 points. Oh, and we said we were going to switch this, right? So what if we there's like a non-zero chance here that my computer will just stop working at some point. Okay. So we have the 4 fusion blasters, and then we have now we're 1955. Okay, we have a lot of working room in here now. So let's do 2 shield drones, 4 gun drones. And we have 15 points. So I could take a shield drone if I wanted to. Or I could take a gun drone and a seeker missile. Although 1 seeker missile, you're probably just going to forget about it. I do. So, I mean, we could also, so 300, how many, the Flamers unit is only 135 points. they're gonna die really fast. They're gonna die really fast, but right, strength 4 minus 1 AP. It's like the strength 4 minus 1 AP. That is the minus 1 AP better than having just 3 flamers. We could give them. What's the relic? What's that? There's a flamer relic, right? Or am I totally spacing on that? Here. Right? High-powered incinerators. But did they get the boost to 12 inches too? So yeah. So then if you were within 6 inches, then you would get strength 5. That's not worth it on a unit of 3 crisis suits. Right? Either way. If I was going to do something, I would look at maybe giving the stabilizer jets to the bodyguards, or the iridium. I mean, really, actually, not that. I would do the reactive countermeasures on this unit, I think. So, okay. So these last these last points. What do we have? Wait, what do we have for marker lights here? Not a lot. I mean, we have these 2 marker drone units. Okay. So we're gonna need to fix that, because crisis suits and your Riptide definitely need. Okay, why can I not get down to the marker drone? I don't know why. It's very sad. Can I get down? No. I bet it's. Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay, well, we said we were going to make one of our enforcers the warlord. So we did that here. We need marker drones. Yes. I can just get it to go. Okay. And then for the okay, we're still 5 points over here, so I gotta drop somebody somewhere. Gotta think one of these shield drones, I guess. We're gonna switch it to a gun drone. Okay. I mean, there's that one shield drone isn't doing anything, so we could. Yeah. I mean, maybe it will protect that unit from AP shots, I guess. Oh, there's a shield drone that we can get rid of. I can come back here. Okay, I don't think this is bad now. I mean, I like this crisis unit. I have no idea. I have no idea if that's gonna work. But I mean, it's the same cost for 3 flamers as it is 2 flamers in advanced targeting. So I mean, either way, you guys can figure it out. What works better for you? But yeah, I think, let's see, because we have our mobility. We have mobility here with the commanders and the devilfish and the crisis suits. We have lots of breachers to secure things. Lots of drones. I mean, this isn't bad. I mean, ideally, I probably, ideally I'd have another Riptide in here somehow. So maybe I'd drop it. Maybe I would drop a commander and one of the crisis units and get another Riptide. But yeah, something like that. So the thing about marker lights right now, so marker lights are more useful than a gun drone that's out of range, right? A gun drone out of range can't shoot. I mean, can't shoot at anything. Marker lights, though, have longer range, and unfortunately, it's basically a binary system right now where you want to have at least one, which is, which for Force on Enclaves is a lot easier to just have natively without actually needing a fire marker light. But if we're using something like the Riptide, that's going to be hopefully more than 12 inches away from something, then having marker lights are really important. So you want to make sure you at least have some to kind of prop that up. And then, the reason why I say it's binary is, you want 1 or you want 5, but everything in between isn't very useful right now. And so you either want to have very few or have a bunch. I mean, if you're in the middle in terms of your actual army composition, you're effectively just building a redundancy for those low number of marker light hits to keep them on the table for long enough. So, I mean, the points are the same, right, for marker drones and gun drones, so you can easily switch between them. But yeah, I would. Because how many marker drones do we have here? We have 8, 10. 12, 14. I mean, so 14 marker drones. If they don't have a drone controller, that's going to give you 4.5 marker light hits. So again, not even enough on average to actually. I mean, that's not accounting for the re-rolling ones or whatever. But on average, that's not really going to get you to the 5 even on one target. So, yeah, but they don't have to be close to the target, and yeah. So I mean, maybe switch some of these guys up here to be gun drones instead, I guess. Yeah. So if you put another Riptide in here, it would be with heavy burst cannon. Heavy burst cannon, advanced targeting, and counterfire defense, I think, would be the way to go. Yeah. Okay, I think that's roughly the list, with the caveat that you can switch freely between flamers and advanced targeting and between marker drones and gun drones. And then if I were going to fundamentally change it, I would go for that second Riptide instead of the same number of commanders and the second crisis suit unit. Cool. All right, that's it for me. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out with me and working on these lists. I have no idea if this is going to save, so fingers crossed. We'll find out. This might have been a terrible mistake, but I don't know. I mean, if it did, let's just say this. If it did upload and you are able to watch this after the fact, put in the comments whether or not you like this format. Put in the comments whatever, whatever you think. So thanks everybody. And as always, happy wargaming.